yeah, without even getting into that, I think it's just such an important concept. Like that integrity is like, once you realize that you've been saying something that's not true, you realize that was just the chaff that needed to be burned, that needed to be burnt off. And when you get rid of that, you can come into this alignment, which is the integrity of your soul. And it's this integrity. And I think that's exactly right, because the thing I trust about someone like Jocko or someone like Jordan Peterson is I feel like they're in alignment. I feel like they have that integrity. That's the thing I trust about Sam Harris, is I feel like he's in that kind of integrity and he's saying what he truly is thinking most of the time. Sam, I would say, would be very similar to Ben Shapiro. So these are people on completely opposing views on almost everything. But the value that I would say they're both on an equal playing field here is like almost all the time they're saying what they truly believe, and they're saying it with fortitude. But I also have an instinct on both of them that at times they seem to shut down ideas that are actually pretty good ideas, and they don't have a good enough reason why they shut it down. And they're actually just kind of playing this like means to an end game at times, but I still, highly respect them. But it's this thing that I was thinking recently, like, I think because of that integrity, I think that I would trust Sam Harris, one of the world's leading atheists, more than I would trust almost any church pastor I've ever met in terms of their own personal morality. I would trust Sam Harris to not cheat on his wife, for example, than I would certainly trust him more to be faithful than I would trust like any of the last few pastors that I've like actually seen to the level that I've seen Sam Harris's life.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Whoa. I think we got to talk about this a little more. That really surprised me. So what's made you feel that way? It sounds like maybe you've had some,
have you
not
listened
so great.
Oh, it's not even that. It's like it's just that I've seen him be that honest. And it's not even like, oh, these particular pastors, I think they're about to just crash. It's more like they're playing this means to an end game to a much greater extent than he is.
So I feel like that scratches the surface on maybe a whole topic in of itself of masculinity within Christianity.
Right.
'Cause that's for someone who has modeled their life after following Jesus and is, given so much to that end, for you to say something like that makes me sad. I wish that wasn't the reality. I'm glad you're being honest about it, but something in me is like, man, what are we missing in masculinity inside of Christianity that could lead something like that to be true?
Right. And as a caveat, I'm not saying I believe all atheists are more on that side of moral truth than all believers or even all pastors, whatever. I'm saying of almost every pastor who I know, public or private, in comparison to Sam Harris, I would say that. And I think that's part of why he's so popular, though. Why he's such a popular figure and such a good voice for the atheist perspective. Not just like the intellectually atheist perspective, but just everything that he stands for. He's kind of like the steel man of that position. I think that's really useful, because I do believe in truth. I do believe that when you seek truth, that you get to a better end than you would have got if you didn't seek the truth. And he has such a high value. I don't know if you've listened to him much, but the thing about him,
hardly at all.
Okay. So that's probably, it would be really helpful.
I'd get it a little bit more, I think, if
you would
had
get
more context. Yeah.
I'm not just using him as a stand-in atheist, because I certainly wouldn't say the same about Richard Dawkins.
Sure.
Okay. He particularly has a value for honesty and for not lying, and he kind of sets that up as one of his main like core moral foundations is like, you just don't lie. You don't do it. And here's all the reasons why you don't do it. All the logical reasons. I don't need God. I don't need whatever. I don't need religion. You don't lie no matter what. And he gives all these reasons. And I hear him say it like by his voice. And I'm like, yeah, he believes it. He is in on the side of honesty and integrity, that alignment. He is in on that side way more than hardly any pastor I've ever heard speak to that degree. Like I've certainly heard pastors speak who I've believed in their honesty, like crazy. And I think they're totally on that side of integrity. Francis Chan comes to mind. But yeah, especially like, I just think it's a perfectly honest and fair thing to say. I would trust Sam Harris more than any church leader that I personally know to be faithful to his wife. So